What's up, Titan fans? My name is Tenn. Some of you might know me as Peyton from real life. And this is episode 1 of Tenn Talks Titans. Today, we are being blessed by an amazing spot because it is early, 8:30 a.m. this morning. It's Sunday at 8:30 a.m. And got a wonderful spot here on Tennessee Tech's pretty much the main spot, like in the middle of the school. As you see, like no one's here, so I got the privilege of being able to do this episode here. Usually I won't be able to do it here because this is a very populated area, but since it's Sunday and I got up early, I got a nice little spot. Usually these episodes will be shorter. We'll go over the game and we'll talk about the games. Since I missed the first 3, I kind of just want to be with like a big analysis to for the first episode, like a review, kind of go to each position. It's gonna be a longer episode, so hang on tight. Usually I'm gonna try to make them like 10 minutes. This one might be a little over 30, depending on how long I talk about each position. But I plan on doing these after every game, so either like Monday or Tuesday. Sadly, thanks to COVID ruining that today, Titans don't play this week. So this week you're getting an episode on Sunday. Next week, hopefully we play, and I'll have an episode out either Monday or Tuesday. So without further ado, let's get started. So quarterback, we'll start there. Through 3 weeks, Ryan Tannehill's been okay. Now, people know me as a big kind of Ryan Tannehill hater. I'm not necessarily a hater. I'm not sold on him yet. I think we overpaid him a little bit. I think he's kind of average. He's a game manager. He's not a elite quarterback, and some people act like he is. But he's done his job so far. Through the first 2 games, he had 6 touchdowns, 0 picks. Protected the ball. Did his job pretty much. Last week, he had a couple throws that were kind of, okay, look, it's Ryan Tannehill. He's back. Like example, he had a throw where he overthrew Jonnu. It would have been easy, like 15-yard gain. Seeing how this was a week ago, I'm trying to remember. I'll be a little forgetful, but that's why I'm going to try to record him after the games. But he missed Jonnu on an easy throw. I think it was 3rd down, and it ruined the drive. I do remember that. And then he had a bad pick. I mean, a terrible throw. Throwing it to number 15. Usually I know all the players. It's just this year with COVID and, you know, how people are added and dropped from the practice squad and added to the 53 roster. It's really changing all the time. I haven't memorized everyone yet. But I know most everyone, though. 15 is, I think his last name starts with a W. I watched some clips of him when he came out of college. I don't know why he was out there, to be honest. I know A.J. Brown was out and stuff. We have like 3 or 4 wide receivers that should have been targeted before him. So I don't know why Tannehill had so much faith in him and threw it in like double coverage, and it was a terrible throw. But, you know, whatever. Other than that, I can't really hate on Tannehill so far. I have a feeling he's going to lose his games. I'm watching these games. I'm like, if we lose this game, it can be on like week 1. I remember, you know, Goskowski had a bad game. If we lost that one, probably on him. But like, I remember week 2, if we lost that one, it was on Tannehill. Like, it was just, he's got to help. I mean, he's got to do more than just manage. He's got to show he was worth the money. So right now I'm not sold, but he's doing his thing, so I can't really complain. Halfback, Derrick Henry. I mean, what is there to talk about Derrick Henry? I know we've given him the ball a lot so far, and he's not really had the production yet, but it'll get going. I'm not worried about Derrick Henry at all. That'll get rolling. That's our identity. Behind him, Evans, I'm excited to see him play a little bit. He only had a couple carries last game. That's all he's done so far this season, dealing with injuries. But I'm excited for him, little speedster. Should be a little bright spot this season, I think. When Henry comes out, you shouldn't have to be scared. And I think you could also use him on 3rd downs because Derrick Henry has shown in the past he struggles on catching. So something to keep in mind. We got McNichols, I think is his last name. If I'm trying to make sure I'm not having a brain fart, I'm pretty sure that's right. I liked him last season. Wish he made the 53 and didn't after an amazing preseason. Glad he's on the team now. I know he's getting kind of shuffled around and stuff. But I think he's a great 3rd, so no complaints there. Fullback is great. Blanken? No, that's the Georgia quarterback, got to the Colts. I can't remember his name. His last name's weird. Anywho, let's see. So next up would be wide receiver. Last game, we saw Khalif Raymond finally had the game that he deserved. It's been a bit, but he finally had one. So good to see that. Good to see that. He's definitely our Tyreek Hill, like budget Tyreek Hill. So glad to see him, taking that step and just continue to get better and better. Dude that earned his way to the roster like last season, and he just got better and better. He's definitely a weapon. AJ Brown hasn't really played because of injury. Kind of hoping at this point we kind of just, let him rest. Supposedly it's a bruised bone, and that's something that takes a while to heal. He could play on it if he wanted, but it'd make it longer to fully heal. I'm at the point where I'm pretty confident we'll make playoffs. So I'll almost say if you can rest AJ for, week 12 or however long it takes, and then really have him for the end of the year run and then playoffs, I think that'd be worth it. Because I think the reason why I can say that confidently is Corey Davis is on this team. A lot of people forget about him, but Corey Davis, honestly, in like a much more pass-happy offense, wouldn't look like a bust in some people's eyes, because Corey Davis has it. Like, he didn't put up the stats, but he has the ability. Yeah, his first few years, he was number one. Everybody targeted or everybody covered him. He was the number one focus. But now that Jonnu has stepped up, and now that AJ Brown is having like just crazy production, he's kind of got that like number 2 role now. He's not playing against the top cornerbacks each team, and he is thriving on it. Even this year, even with AJ out, he's still thriving as playing number 1. So I mean, Corey is killing it. I hope we keep him. I don't think he's a bust. I mean, look at the big three that draft class. Him, Mike Williams, and John Ross. He's easily the best so far in his career. So can't hate on that. Let's talk about, last but not least, Adam Humphries. Adam Humphries kind of was a bust signing last season. Was really excited for him. Then he kind of had injuries all season. Now, though, he's fully healthy, and he's with AJ out. He's playing a lot. He is getting really, really, really good in this offense. Like, he's becoming that Julian Edelman for us. Like, sure hands, great routes in the slot. He's becoming a big factor in this offense. I'm excited to see what he does this season. I think he could really blossom, especially if we could get AJ, Corey, and him out on the field all at once, and then Khalif Raymond coming off the bench for, big plays. Great top 4, like amazing top 4. Go ahead and skip to tight end here, and Jonnu. Jonnu is having an amazing season to begin with. He's just balling out, and honestly, he's getting himself in conversation for top 5 tight end in the league, which is massive. Yeah, there's nothing really to say. I mean, you saw a glimpse of it last season. He had that crazy catch against the Ravens in the playoffs that gave us a big boost, and he's just, every year he's learned by sitting behind Delaney Walker, and now that Delaney's gone, Jonnu has just skyrocketed. I'm super excited for him, and great budget pick. Picked him in the 3rd round. So, I mean, that's one thing I'm going to talk about real quick. John Robinson really has a knack for those late picks to become really good. Kevin Byard was a 3rd rounder. Like I said, he was a 3rd rounder. I'm trying to remember. Jayon Brown was a 5th rounder. I mean, there's a bunch of late picks. Heck, Henry, we got pick 45 in the 2nd, which was crazy when that came out. I could not believe we got Henry that late, or even that we took him in that draft with seeing how Murray was playing. But like, just steals. I mean, just absolute steals. Little shout out to John Robinson there. O-line, I want to talk about this real quick. First 2 games was very good. Need a little bit better run blocking. I think that's the problem with Henry. Right now, there's not a whole lot of places to go. I haven't seen like a big hole for Henry just to absolutely take off. There hasn't been that one run yet where he's just kind of, hit the 2nd level and then had a chance to break it. It's mostly been, defenses committing to him, which is the goal for us, is, getting those 8 in the box or even more. That's how Khalif Raymond had a great game. 2 play action throws, and he just went over the top, like blew Minnesota's 1st-round cornerback out of the water. So, yeah, I mean, O-line was doing good. First 2 games. Last game, though, I know Taylor Long went out. Gotta be a little better. You gotta do a little better. Like, the second Long went out, it was a struggle. It was a super struggle. We need a little bit better blocking the O-line. I'm not too worried about them, though. They're, yet again, like Henry. Those 6, those front 5, and then Henry get better and better and better as the year on. Especially with, Conklin out. We have a new starting right tackle in Kelly, which doesn't scare me. Kelly, anybody that wants to, talk about it, would you rather have Conklin or Kelly and Clowney? Yeah, pretty easy choice for me, too. I'll take Clowney and Kelly any day of the week. So a little great budget right there, because if we signed Conklin, we couldn't afford both of those. No way. So, John Ross is making good moves. Going a little bit quick. I didn't mention it, but I recorded this episode about 4 days ago, and I had a problem where I got interrupted and I couldn't get the video edited together. So I thought it'd just be easier to redo it. And it was like 37 minutes. So I mean, you kind of see, I'm kind of going a little quick, but it's mainly because I've kind of, forgot every single play. I went deep in the one episode, which will be usually what I do on those 2-minute videos. Anywho, D-line right now, Crawford's been okay. I don't really have much to say for him yet. Jeffrey Simmons, one of the players that's got COVID right now. I haven't really talked about those yet. Oh my God, that is a rough blow. Jeffrey Simmons is proving why Jarrell Casey was worth trading for a 7th and getting Clowney for that money. He has been arguably top 5 in the league, and no one really talks about it right now, but he's getting ridiculous. I mean, there was a play against Minnesota where they gave him roughing the passer, which was kind of bullcrap, but he just destroyed the center. He just pushed the center into Cousins. It was, my God. My man, I mean, in goal line stands too. My man is just lighting it up. He's honestly at least top 3 player on defense right now. Honestly, could be argued to be the best. So keep doing your thing, Jeffrey Simmons. I'm excited to see your season. I hope you get better with COVID and stuff. Same for the other players. I'm not going to try to go big on those, because honestly, I think all the players have COVID now. Don't be too scared. I think they will recover. They should be able to play against Buffalo Bills. So that's why I'm not getting a huge depth with that one. Gotta hate COVID. Have a great start, best start in franchise, well, not franchise history, but in a long time. I think, as I said, since 2008. First time I can remember. I was born in 2001. It's the first time I can ever remember the season starting and me be able to say the Titans have a shot to do some great things this season and not be crazy. So, and then of course COVID comes in, we're 3-0 and kind of messes that up. But I think it'll be okay. I think all these players will be okay. Hopefully everyone gets better though. Moving on. Sorry to get on that COVID little stint there. Didn't want to get too negative, but anywho, so pass rusher right now. I'm gonna jump to those. Or no, hold on, whoa. I almost forgot Daquan Jones. How did I almost forget a team captain? Come on now. Daquan Jones, he got the captain, which was more because he's one of the longest active Titans. He's very solid. He's not crazy. He's not really done a whole lot right now, but him and Jeffrey, I know, have killed it on goal lines and, plugging up the middle. So I don't have any complaints for him. So hopefully he gets better for COVID too. I know he's one of the players. But anywho, pass rush. Pass rush right now is a position that, just like O-line and halfback, I think is just going to get better and better the more they play and the more they learn the playbook, in case of Clowney and Beasley, because they just, got here. Landry has to be the happiest person probably in the Titans building right now, because he actually has friends. He hadn't had friends in pretty much the whole time he's been here. He's been the main pass rusher we had. No one really else to go with him. Now we have Jadeveon Clowney, which honestly, I mean, he's getting out of pressure. I know people are like, first month, he's probably one of the biggest busts. You've got hidden stats that prove that wrong. Clowney has been a disruptor. He's been blowing up plays. And yeah, it doesn't go in the stat book for that, but if you watch the games, you know how good Clowney's doing. So, I mean, if you actually watch, you can see. So I have no fear in Clowney. Beasley, yet again, just needs to keep learning. He's had 15 snaps in his debut. Not bad. My favorite formation right now is when we have Beasley and Landry on the outside, and then Jeffrey and Clowney in the interior. That is a nasty pass rush. I love that formation. We did it once or twice against Minnesota, and it is, oh my goodness. Every time I see those 4 line up like that on the D-line, oh man, it gets me excited. Because I usually watch, when I'm watching Titans games, that D-line. It's easy thing to watch, because usually, the TV's on the QB and you can't really see downfield. So I'm usually watching that pass rush. And I remember against KC in the AFC Championship how terrible it was watching the pass rush, because there was no pass rush. So very exciting to watch them this year. Moving on, linebackers. Evans, stud, just absolute stud. It's getting better and better. Dumb penalty week 1, but other than that, he's doing his thing. Jayon Brown has been great too. I know he had that play against Jacksonville where Minshew just made a great throw over him. He could have got his head back. Maybe he could have batted down. But other than that, Jayon's just been a beast. Kind of a little bit of a slow start for him, I guess, him and Evans. Not like crazy, but I think I'm not too worried about them. They're both great. Behind him, we got Conklin, which was probably one of my favorite signings because the boys, gotta love Taylor and Conklin. Very happy to see Conklin back. Yeah, it sucks that his one play he came in last week. Jayon admitted that it was his blown assignment, but on TV it looked like it was Conklin's. So his one play, he got TV time in the wrong way, even though Rudolph made a crazy catch. So can't really hate him on that. One surprise for me this season so far is David Long. David Long played a lot last season. If Evans or Brown came out, David Long came in. He was like a 6 or 7 round pick, I remember, and just killed it. Like, he had a lot of good plays. I think he had like a forced fumble return for a touchdown. Like, I mean, he did a lot for our defense last season. And this season, that week 1 where Evans caught a check tit, I was expecting him to come in, and they let Conklin come in and really start for pretty much the rest of the game, which was super shocking to me. So interesting to see what's going on with David Long. I want to see him on the field more, even though I love Conklin. So we'll see what's going on with him. Hopefully we'll see him more. Sorry, by the way, if I'm being crazy with the camera. Sorry. My arm's getting tired. Anywho, usually when I record these, like, I'll probably be on my bed, so I'll be able to hold it steadier if my heart's relaxed. So sorry to deal with that. Anywho, cool plane. Anywho, moving on. Cornerbacks. Adoree Jackson, please come back. Please get healthy. Please come back quickly. We've been missing him. Last week against the Vikings, it felt like Butler was covering two wide receivers at once. Every time Cousins threw it to one of them, either Thielen or Jefferson, Butler was the dude having to be on him. Like, because Joseph, I mean, he's doing really good in the run game. He even had a pick 6 that Clowney kind of, ruined. Which I'll get back on that real quick. I'm going to comment on that in a second. But he's just not quick enough. You saw him against Jefferson. I mean, you don't know his fault. It's just he's not quick enough. So we really need Jackson. Jackson need to come back. Both Jacksons, to be honest, because Chris Jackson has had a great start to the season as a 7th-round pick. Got the nod week 1 over Fulton because variable said it was because he was in training camp and Fulton wasn't as much. So hope he comes back too. He was out last week and that was kind of a big blow. Fulton's doing pretty good. Needs to just keep learning. I'm excited for Fulton because I've said this the episode I recorded first, and I made a big emphasis on it. When we got to the first round, our pick, Fulton was the dude I wanted. Fulton was the dude that was sitting there. I was like, yeah, let's take Fulton. And we took Wilson. Is that his name? I can't even remember right now. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I say Wilson. Mainly because it's been a terrible pick so far. Rough start to an NFL career. It's got to get rid of his childish ways because it's been a bit rough so far. So hopefully he can improve on that. But the fact we were able to go the second and get Fulton was a steal. Very excited for Fulton. I think he's going to be a cornerback that eventually, when Butler has to leave, when he gets older and gets digressing, I think Fulton will be a number 2 on this team behind Adoree for a while. Hopefully we resign Adoree, and that's the case. So very excited for Fulton. Anyone else I really want to hit up on I think that's all the cornerbacks want to go over. Safety, bit of a quiet game for Vaccaro and Byard last week. I need to watch a little bit of film from last week because it felt like they weren't there. I felt like I didn't really see them much on TV. I don't know what they were doing. I didn't really pay attention. Like I said, I watch D-line usually, but very quiet game for those two. I'm sure they were killing it. Usually they are. Honestly, probably one of the best safety duos in the league. Might be a little biased on that, but seeing how Vaccaro can, just disrupt runs, great run stopping safety, and has a bit of coverage ability, and Byard literally can cover pretty much the whole field. Very great duo. Got a little Vaccaro signing too. When we brought him in, give him a shot, he's just been killing it. So very good for Vaccaro. Behind them, you've got Hooker, who has been a dude which I was super excited when we drafted him. Could play a little bit of the slot if we needed, if we got that bad cornerback. It's going to be a stud. I think he's a dude that could develop and maybe even take Vaccaro's spot in the future. Who knows? But very great depth. Cruikshank, shout out to him and Kalu. Both of those two have become experts at blocking kicks. Last week against Minnesota, Kalu jumped. They said 2 steps, but when you watch the replay, I don't know. It's a bit debatable It was close. I think they made the right call at flagging it, but it was like split second. He almost timed it perfect, and what it did is it got in the head of the kicker, and he missed the next kick. So, excuse me. So very good for them too. Glad to see they're still doing their ways. You can expect them to block about 1 or 2 kicks a year at this point. That's how disrupted they're getting on blocking kicks. So little shout out to Cruikshank on that one. Special teams, Cleve Raymond is yet again our Tyreek Hill manager version of him. I think he's going to break one sooner. I don't know for a touchdown, but he'll get one of those like long returns to the 50 or so soon. You keep seeing it. He keeps making a lot of people miss and then just running out of room. So good for that. Brent Kern is the GOAT. I will keep saying it. Literally probably the best punter in the league. Just like absolutely the most consistent, big leg. Like you gotta love him. He doesn't get the credit he needs. That's why there's a freaking poster of him outside Nissan Stadium, because he is one of the best players on this team, and no one really talks about it. So shout out to him. And then Gostkowski, what a crazy first month. So week 1, this man goes out there and tries to find a way for us to lose that game. Tries to find a way for us to lose that game. If he makes 75% of his kicks, I mean, the game's over pretty easy. Instead, he literally kept Denver in the game, and they didn't have, it was crazy when I was watching the end of the game, because Denver was daring us to kick it. They didn't call their timeouts. They were so confident he was going to miss. They were fine with letting him go to kick it and him missing and going to OT, which I've never seen in an NFL game ever. Yet he bangs it in, game winner. So he kind of redeemed himself. Week 2, he misses a PAT. So you kind of see, well, maybe, he's still missing kicks. It's kind of scary. And then week 3, he gets six kicks. 6, all of them down the middle, perfect. From 55, game winner. If he misses 1 kick the whole game, we don't win. No, we don't win. It's just as simple as that. So, and then he gets player of the week, and then they give him AFC player of the month, which is just crazy as a kicker. So shout out to Gostkowski. Literally 3 weeks ago, I said, oh man, we still have our kicking problem, because John Robinson, whole draft, I won a Blankenship. Whole draft from like 7th round, 6th round, even 5th round. I was sick of having kicking problems. I was down to draft him. He didn't do nothing until about, 2 weeks before the season. He's like, Gostkowski, I see you bought a house in Tennessee. We'll give you a chance. And then he came in, stole the job, and I was like, okay, well, let's see if the old man's got anything. He was coming off an injury, a hip injury, surgery, I think. And he's a bit worrisome. And then he came out and sucked, and I was like, So here we go again. We're going to lose 3 games to kicking like we did last season. And now I'm thinking we've got Ryan Succop 2.0. Ryan Succop was really good until he got hurt. Literally consistent. Probably the best kicker we've had since Rob Baronis. And now Gostkowski, it's only 1 game, so I can't sit here and say, our kicking problems are solved. But I'm a lot more confident. I was about a 3 confidence after week 1. If Gostkowski went up for a kick, he had a 30% chance. And now I'm about 90 now. He's solved my worries. I'm not as worried anymore. So good job. He needed a game like that to get his confidence. So yeah, 23 minutes. So I really shortened this one up. Closing thoughts, 3-0 is awesome. Texans are 0-3, so a massive lead. Jacksonville's 1-2. I'm not worried about Jacksonville, so I'm not going to talk about them usually. They're not, no, we're not losing. Jacksonville's not winning the division. If Jacksonville wins the division, I don't know. I don't know. Jacksonville's not winning this division. Colts are 2-1 right now. Found a way to lose to Jacksonville, which is low-key huge because that's a division game. So big loss to them there. But they've done their business on everything else. They handled Minnesota themselves. So interesting to see them. I'm not too worried about making the playoffs. Like I said, I think we'll be. 7 teams make it this season, so I got a lot of confidence we'll do that. The question is if we can win the division, and I think it's possible. So especially if we get back and going. I hate that we don't get to play this week, but hindsight is 2020. It might be a blessing, to be honest. We have a bunch of people: Taylor Lewan, Dory, AJ, all need to get better. So it might not be a bad bye. Usually I want my bye around 7 or 8 because that's mid-season, so you can heal up a week or so. But maybe this ain't a bad bye. So we'll see. Hopefully Taylor Lewan and Dory and maybe AJ can play week 5, and hopefully we just play period. I know NFL's talking today about having a week 18 flex, which honestly I thought was probably the best plan to begin with. You see, comes out I think last night that excuse me, Chiefs and Patriots have two quarterbacks with COVID. One, Cam Newton, which is massive, so they got postponed real quick. I think another team got a case today or something, so it's starting to spread around the league. It sucked to be a Titan fan these last few days because everybody's wanting to shoot at us, saying give us 4 L's or something. We deserve to lose. We're ruining the season. I mean, come on now. There's no reports that say we broke any rules. If we did, that kind of sucks. But I mean, you see these coaches that didn't have masks and stuff. Like, I mean, come on, that's a lot worse than I'm sure whatever the heck we did. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But you can't say that we ruined the season. This was expected. This wasn't a surprise thing like, oh, COVID. No, this is expected. The NFL has a plan set. I think they have the hotels at the Super Bowl booked for like a month after, so they can move the Super Bowl back if they need to. We could have a situation where we have like all the way to week 20. We literally might have a situation where they back up games. We have like 3 weeks of flex before playoffs. And if that happens, it's just what has to be done. Like, I mean, you see, I kind of feel bad for Steelers and Ravens. We messed with their schedule thanks to it, but just the case. So, all in all, it's kind of a sticky situation, but I think the NFL is doing the right thing. I hate, like I said, it's been tough being a Titan fan this week with all the hate, but what can you do? So, anywho, trying to think if there's anything else I want to add to this video. Our next game will be against the Buffalo Bills, and Buffalo Bills are a menace right now. Josh Allen is playing the best ball I've seen him play his whole career. He's being a beast. But we have a bit of revenge for them. Last season we lost to them due to kicking. So I don't want to see that again. Hopefully we can go beat Buffalo next week, which will be a statement win, because right now we've won all our games, but it's been close. And in my opinion, a win's a win. I want comfortable wins because I don't like sitting here these first 3 weeks, every game be biting my nails. I'd much rather see my team just go out and kill it. But 3-0, I mean, somebody said this week we could easily be 0-3, but we're not. We've won all 3 games. A win's a win. We can win the Super Bowl by 1 point. All I care. Win's a win. So if you keep doing that, if you find ways to win, that's all that matters. Hopefully we go out against Buffalo. I mean, if it's a dream situation, we go out and play Buffalo, we win 69-0, because that'd be very nice. But I mean, probably not going to happen. So it'll probably be another nail biter. We'll see. Other than that, I got a week of football, or a week just to kind of sit here and see what happens with COVID and what else happens in the NFL. So, anywho, I think that's hit about everything I want to talk this week. Like I said, hopefully we play next week, and I'll have the episode 2 for week, technically 5, I guess now. I have episode 2 out either Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to try to be really consistent doing these because I love talking Titans. And yeah, so anyways, thank you all so much for tuning into episode 1. I know this is a bit of a long one, but usually they'll be shorter, I promise. Usually, I mean, heck, they could be like 10 minutes long. So hopefully that's my goal, is to get about 10 minutes long. But other than that, like I said, thank you so much. And I'll see you guys next week. Tighten up.